Yes, everyone, welcome to In the Red Corner. My name's Ross. Hope you're all well. Thank you Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you again to all the new and old subscribers. Stop now. Come on, stop subscribing. It's all right. I've got enough. That's a lie. Hit that button. Thanks very much. Tonight, I've got the one and only Jack the Spartan Draper. Here he is. How are you getting on, Jack? How are you doing? Are you well?
How's it going, mate? You all good?
I'm not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah.
That's my little impression of you. Did you like that? How you doing,
Loads
everyone? You all right?
Loads of people try it. You ain't the first.
I probably won't be the last either.
No, definitely not.
So, started camp. How are things going?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it started off this week. Like I said, getting back into it slowly. Like I said, I've got an injury, a little injury in my shoulder. It's getting better. So I'm not going too flat out with it at the minute. I'm just getting more
rotator cuff, wasn't it, that you done?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was. To be fair, they said it wasn't actually a bad injury. It just hurts more than it actually was wrong with it. Thank God. So
yeah.
So yeah, it's a matter of just getting me running and stuff done, getting that in there, and yeah, it's starting early. I've got to get the weight down as well. So giving myself 12 weeks, more than enough time to get shift a fair bit of weight.
Yeah, good stuff. Do you mind if I know you should never ask a person's weight, but what are you sitting at now?
At the minute, I'm about 20 and a half stone at the minute, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't actually weighed myself, so.
Right. What are you looking to get down to for your fight?
I'm going to drop down to about 18, 17 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was weighed in the last fight. I was about 19 stone 5 or 19 stone 4, I think I weighed in. So, yeah, I'm going to get a lot more off this time around.
Yeah. So anyone that hasn't seen Jack's fights on my channel against Robbie Kennedy in the Bkfc, Crystal Palace, it was a great fight. I thought it was a great fight, and Jack got absolutely hammered and slated for it, and it was undeserved, the abuse that you got, I think, personally, because it takes one hell of a set of balls to get into the ring, and that uppercut came from nowhere, and it would have knocked many of men out. I mean, you were still compos mentis. Robbie was a tricky customer. I've had Robbie on the podcast as well. He had bare respect for you. Nice guy. And what did you learn about yourself from that fight?
I mean, well, to be fair, I've learned a few things from that fight. I mean, I learned what it felt like to get cut. So that's the first time I've actually experienced like a proper cut across my eye.
Yeah.
Learn what it felt like to get knocked out, because that's never happened to me before. I've never been dropped before. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? I don't see what the big worry is about getting knocked out. I mean, don't get me wrong, your pride hurts, but your pride hurts more than the actual situation itself. It was actually quite a weird feeling. I mean, it happened, and then all of a sudden I was on the floor, and I thought, "Oh fuck, what happened there?" Like, don't remember any of it. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it does. Yeah. It switches you off.
Yeah, well, you never see the knockout punch, to say, don't they?
No, that's it, and that's what it was. It was just a punch that just came right out of nowhere, and fair play to him. He fucking threw it with intent, and it landed. So, yeah, there's not really much more to say about it, really.
Yeah, he was a tricky customer, like I say. He had an awkward stance. He came from an MMA background.
Yeah.
How did you get into combat sport then?
It's pretty much where I come from in Chatham. You're either playing football or you're boxing. So, I mean, for me, I went the boxing route. I started showing interest in boxing from around about 7 years old, 6 years old, something like that. And one of my dad's best friends was a WBU World Bantamweight champion. So I remember watching these fights as a youngster as well, like live on telly, and I thought, I want to do that when I'm older. So I've always loved boxing, and my dad's a tough man as well. He's a fighter as well. So it's just I believe that I was born to fight, mate. If I'm honest with you, I really do. I don't come from some sort of hard upbringing or anything like that. I had a lovely childhood. Mum and dad were there. Mum and dad are still together now. Had nothing but love growing up, but I just really enjoy fighting. I can't explain it. So yeah.
Is it everything about fighting? The nerves.
And that's the thing as well. It's not just boxing that I like. I like all forms of combat, really. I like MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, left way, bare knuckle. I love it all. I love watching all of it. It's all I like. I love
Yeah,
just fighting in general. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm the same. Like, I'll watch pretty much any combat sport that's going.
mm.
Have you ever done any MMA or
I've
K1
trained.
Thai
I've done a little
boxing?
bit of training and stuff in them, but I've never actually competed or anything in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got John saying hello in the comments there. The Maverick McClukey, who think
John
he came.
McClucky, yeah, he's a
Yeah,
good friend of mine. He is, yeah. He came. I met him on YouTube when I started my channel, and he like was showing me support all throughout. That's it, like all throughout the fight with Decker and all that kind of stuff. And in the end, I'd said to him, "Look, mate, I'm going to buy you a ticket to come watch my fight if you can make it." And he came all the way from Scotland
yeah.
by himself down to Crystal Palace just to come and watch me.
Well,
So
as it happens, he actually met him outside in the queue. I was with Danny, and
yeah,
John was in front of us. We ended up talking, and he's became quite a good friend to me as well, by all accounts.
yeah,
Contact
really,
each other
really
on,
lovely bloke.
he is absolute gentleman, and thanks very much for all your support, mate. It means a lot. So you've got a fight. You've got a fight booked for Newcastle, I believe. Obviously, no name of opponent yet. It's a bit early for that, but what can we expect to see from you, Jack?
A whole better version. I'm not going to do too much talking. I'm just going to go away and do what I've got to do and get it done. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say my last fight humbled me because I was pretty humble anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to get myself in the gym, lock myself away, get it done. And then after I'll get back on a winning horse, then I can start talking about things and progressing and stuff like that. But at the minute, I just got to get through this next opponent.
Yeah. You've reached that new 3-fight contract, I believe, as well, multi-fight contract signed for yourself.
Yeah,
for Bkfc. Congratulations on that, my friend.
Yeah, I signed that. When was it? Not yesterday, the day before. Like I said to Andy Baker, I said, mate, I want to stay active. I don't want to have long gaps in between fights. You got to think as well. That was my fight that I had. The last.
Oh, I think we've lost you there, Jack. Just broke up a little bit, mate.
Here we go. Yeah, the last fight I had such a long gap in between the fight. I think it was close to a year and a half, might even be nearly 2 years of not fighting. So it was. I don't want to experience that again. I felt quite rusty when I was in there this time round. You know what I mean? So I don't want to experience that again. So I just told Andy I want to stay active. So as soon as I get through the fight in June, I'll be straight on the phone to him. Right, get me on the next one. As long as I'm not injured, obviously.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, I'm not sure what the BKFC have got coming up, but after Newcastle, but I think they've got another possible 4 that they could do. They seem to be doing it bi-monthly, so.
Yeah, well, ideally, I'd love to get out to America, but coming off a loss, I know I'm not going to get that opportunity just yet, so I've just got to do what I've got to do in the UK. And yeah, I mean, I spoke to Andy earlier, and he told me about a couple of shows that are coming up as well for later in the year, and I just said, look, mate, if I'm healthy, get me on them. So
excellent. Who have you got in? Oh no, you can't really mention your next opponent, but have you got anyone that you've got your eyes set on or your sights set on that you want to kind of chase down?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, mate, I'm very happy to just build I'm how can I word it? I'm happy to just get through each fight as it comes. I don't, like how you get a lot of fighters, they come over and straight away they're like, I want the champion. Yeah. I'm like, I look at it like I've got to earn my way there. So I will just fight whoever they put in front of me. And obviously, the thing is, I say that as long as the money's right and stuff like that, then because that's what in the day, that's what it comes down to. We ain't doing this for free. I'm trying to make a living out of it. So if I get offered a very good fighter, then I'm going to want that kind of very good fighter money. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I mean, I can't say who I'm fighting in June, but I should imagine that me and Rob Cunningham will probably meet at some point later in the year. depending on what our schedules and whatnot. But we have said that obviously that we were supposed to fight last year anyway. So
yeah,
me and Rob have messaged each other a couple of times. And we said, look, me and you are probably going to come to blows at some point, and we're all right with it. Do you know what I mean? So see what happens.
Yeah, lovely guy, Rob. What I've known, he's actually coming on the podcast straight after yourself as well.
Yeah,
so I'll see what he says. I'm sure he'd be up for it. Absolutely. So I mean, the BKFC have opened up whole new territories as well. I think Bulgaria's just signed up. I think Japan have signed up as well. Are there's those kind of places you'd be interested in going over to fight?
Yeah, exactly, mate. And I just want to travel. I want to travel all over the world and fight. I mean, I didn't hear about Japan. I heard about Bulgaria, but that's all I'm interested in doing. I just want to travel and fight and get paid, and just live a fighter's lifestyle, pretty much.
Yeah. What would you say the main difference is between boxing and bare knuckle? Then, obviously, you come from your boxing background.
I would say the main difference for me is that where you haven't got the gloves on, you can't use the gloves to protect yourself.
Yeah.
No, you've got to be able to parry shots a lot better, catch them with your hands, or slip and move out of the way of shots, because you can't just do that, because that ain't going to protect you. It protects you to a degree, but if you take a few big shots on your hands or your forearms and stuff, it's going to fucking hurt. So you need to be able to move out the way. I would say that's the biggest difference.
I was on with Lou on the Fuse the other day. We were talking about a new up-and-coming kid, Lewis, and he had an open hand instead of open-handed.
That's how I thought as well. You have to keep your hands open, and I tend to keep my left hand shut and my right hand open. So then that way I can catch a shot and quickly flick the jab out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got that's how you got to do it. You can't just keep your fist like that the whole time, because it's just kind of fucking hurt your hands otherwise.
Yeah. Mentality wise, is there much difference, or is it just a fight to fight and that's it?
For me, a fight's a fight, mate. You get the same nerves as you get for any other fight. They don't get any better. They're there. It's part and parcel of it. It's it's just you get nervous. As simple as that, really. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I asked this already or not, but are you switching anything up in training at all, or?
Well, I told you earlier, explained what kind of went on in my last camp. So
yeah,
I'll be getting a lot more of that work in this time around now that it's better and all that sort of stuff. I won't say what happened, because I don't want people thinking, "Oh, fucking So I'll be getting all that in this time around as well, and because that does make a massive difference. I've done it in all of my other fights, and this is the first time I couldn't do it. So in my eyes, that would have made a massive difference for myself, and and really mainly the getting the weight down. That's everything else. Oh, and more sparring. I'm going to travel around a lot more now. Now that I've got the time to, I'm going to go visit a few different people and get some good sparring in and stuff like that. So
excellent. Who's your main sparring partners, and what gym do you train out of?
My main sparring partner is actually the bloke that trains me, Pete Stoughton.
Right. Okay.
He's boxing ability. He's gone up and sparred with David Hay and all sorts. He's absolutely mustard. And me and him have some absolute wars in the gym, even though he's my trainer. But don't get me wrong, it ain't all the time. But when sometimes we get in there, we just want to take each other's heads off. Do you know what I mean? But he's a top bloke, Pete. But I've spoken to a few lads about sparring. There's a few lads around my way, a few good heavyweights that I'm gonna jump in and spar with. And I also spoke with Chazza, who fought on the last show, the South African fella.
South African guy.
Yeah, I've spoken with him, and we're going to arrange a bit of sparring together as well.
Yeah,
it'd be good.
Chaz's fight with Savarak, French guy. That was a great fight on that show.
Yeah, brutal fight that.
Yeah, it was. Bad injury to Chaz's ear.
Yeah.
And Savarak got knocked down. I think it was maybe 5 or 6 times, but he got back up at one point. And he was like staggering about, but giving the thumbs up. It was some war.
Yeah.
Are you looking at going to the lead show at all then?
What's that?
Are you looking at going to the lead show?
The league show. What's that?
Leeds.
Leeds. Oh, sorry. Yes. Oh, well, yeah. I did want to be fair. I did want to, but with work and stuff like that, I can't get the time off. So, so like I said, I work on the weekends doing my security work and that, and it's like where I work nights, I'd have to have the Friday and the Saturday night off. And to be fair, I'll probably have to have the whole weekend off because I don't want to travel home from Leeds on a Sunday and then go to work Sunday night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just can't afford to have that time off at the minute.
I'm sure you'll be watching though, regardless.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'll be watching it definitely.
Yeah, everyone, you can download the Bkfc app, and I think it's $8.99 a month, and you get all the free streams as well. It's well worth the money. Are you looking forward to any fight in particular on that card?
Yeah, Danny Christie and Andy Holmes.
Yeah, everyone.
I'm really looking forward to that fight. It's going to be a monster of a fight.
Yeah, everyone I speak to. I mean, I had Danny on last week, and it is the people's main event, isn't it? Really,
it is. Yeah,
not taking anything away from the main event itself, but
yeah,
it's just. I think everyone's intrigued by it. It's got everyone thinking. Two very different stylistic fighters, and it's going to be a brawl. I think an absolute war.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that fight.
Yeah. Have you got any sponsors that you want to give a shout out to, Jack? Or are you looking for sponsors at the moment?
Yeah, I've got a few sponsors. I've got Psycho Security, B Automotive, Mook's Tattoos and JWS Barbering. Who else have I got? I've got SNS Fencing Solutions. I've got SGK Bullies, SGK Logistics as well. Got all those guys. Who else is there? Oh, there's one more. OMG Grab Services is another one. But say a massive thank you to all of those guys. They really helped me out because a lot of these guys they sponsored me for the fight with Decker, right. So they could all come and watch. But obviously the Decker fight didn't happen, so I called them all up and was basically saying, look, this fight's not happening. I'm fighting on Bkfc in March. Would you want to carry the sponsor on for that? And I was expecting a lot of them to say, no, can we have our money back kind of thing? And the thing is, if that would have happened, my kids wouldn't have had a Christmas. Because last year, all of my fights kept getting cancelled. And one thing I do with one of my fights, I'll put all of my money away, and that's Christmas sorted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that last year because fights just kept getting cancelled. So all the money that the sponsors were giving me, I just kept putting it away, and then I just went and done my kids' Christmas with it all. But yeah, I mean, thankfully, every single one of them said, no, we just want to support you. We'll support you for the Bkfc fight. And yeah, so luckily my kids got to have Christmas. But yeah, massive shout out to them guys. But I'm also looking for some new sponsors for the next one as well. So if there's anyone out there that wants to sponsor us, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a global stage as well, to be honest. Yeah, well. So, I mean, fantastic. Is the production level and everything that the Bkfc put on, is that kind of the highest that you've been at?
100%, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's the next level. I was walking around and I felt lost. I was like seeing like cameras move up in weird ways, and I was just sitting there staring at it. Like, fuck me, I've never seen that before. Like, it was, yeah, do you know what I mean? It's a whole different level of experience, but it's I'm so glad to be a part of it and signed a multi-fight contract with them. So
yeah, fantastic. Yeah, getting a lot of love and respect. People talking about Big Ben Rothwell versus Jack Draper. I know Ben Rothwell's looking for an opponent at the moment. Is that something you'd be interested in?
I would have been if I weren't injured.
Yeah,
definitely. But that's not a fight I'm going to take injured. Definitely not. So even though the money I'd probably get paid a lot of money for that fight. Well, I'd want to be paid a lot of money for that fight. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. But yeah, I'm not going to take that fight injured. Definitely not.
No. Is there any American opponents that you've got I know you mentioned before you want to work your way up and things like that, but I mean, even working your way up, you could still go and fight in the US.
Yeah, I mean, they got a few good up and comers. They got Zach Calmus. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He looks like a good fighter. He brings it. Who's the other one? Watson. Is it Zach Watson? Or Josh Watson, whatever his name is, the one that beat Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
Another good fighter there. fuck me, I'll tell you who I was interested in fighting, but I don't think he's fighting anymore, and that was Bobo O'Bannon.
Okay.
I wanted to fight him, but this was last year. I wanted to fight him because he just, no matter what happens in the fight, he will come and have a fight. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. He will just stand there and trade, and that's the kind of geezer I wanted to have a fight with. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I don't think he's fighting anymore. I'm not sure.
Oh well, hopefully it all comes off in the end, and you get everything you want, Jack.
I'll just be happy just to get over there and fight. I don't really care who's in front of me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of unfortunate pullouts from your last opponent as well. Robbie took it on a week or less than a week's notice, I believe.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days notice, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 6 different opponents you had, and
6. Yeah,
that's got to take its toll on you mentally when you're trying to prepare for someone, or are you the kind of person that it doesn't really matter? You're just going to concentrate on what you do yourself rather than what they do.
To a degree, yeah. I mean, look, it's nice to be able to sit and look at an opponent and go, right, he does this, he does that. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and do that. But it got to the point where when they kept pulling out, when it got to Robbie Kennedy, I looked at a 30-second clip of one of his MMA fights of him knocking someone out by kicking them to the face.
Yeah.
And I just thought, whatever. Like, I don't even care anymore. I just need to fight. I had to fight. Really, I should have pulled out myself, if I'm being honest with you, mate. I should have pulled out myself, but I needed the money, so...
Yeah, we've got to do what we've got to do. That's it.
That's it, yeah. But,
well, Jack, I'm going to wrap that up here. I'm just going to say thank you very much for coming on. Much appreciated. And
no worries, mate.
And, good luck. Well, I will speak to you before Newcastle, definitely.
Yeah, nice one, mate. No worries.
But yeah. Thanks very much, Jack, and I'll speak to you soon, mate.
See you soon, mate. Pal.
Cheers. Bye. Thank you very much to everyone for all the comments. Cracking in there tonight. It's probably the most comments I've had. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Mitsup TV, John, Lindsay, big up. Respect to Darren, Dangerous Darren. Who else we had in there? Kateos, thank you very much. Let's go. Mrs. Draper, of course, thank you very much. Brilliant. I've got Rob Cunningham coming on now as well. So I'm going to dip out of this and then we'll dip back into the next one. Hope to see you there. Thanks very much.